since we in the new year, quote unquote, I just want to shout out all my dads that didn't make it to this year. You understand what I'm saying? Because I feel like everybody's targeting is different. And some people just get harassed and bullied and their funds tampered with and all that other stuff. And they get, what's the word? Psyops and roadblocks in the middle of nowhere that wasn't there prior to all that matrix glitching stuff. I've seen the matrix break down several times, by the way. Like, it's crazy. But I'm not even gonna incriminate my baby like that, but I'm gonna leave that out. But what was I gonna say? Yeah, so so that still gotta say what I gotta say. So shout out to my dads anyway. The people that didn't make it to this new year. So I've actually had, so anyway, just go ahead and tell the story. So I wanna say, how long has my friend has been dead, my best friend? I'm gonna say her name because I don't really like how she just died, and I don't really like the what surrounded her death and things that happened, and there was just some weird stuff that happened. Oh, anyhow, all of a sudden they want to mow the lawn. Man, it's so cold outside. That's what I mean by collateral damage. These people be collateral damage. You ain't about to have me outside in less than 50 degrees doing nothing for no psyop. You know what I'm saying? I care less. I'm going home. It's too cold to be outside gang stalking anybody. I didn't even want to get my groceries off the porch just now. Anyway. So my friend Therese, may she rest in peace. Remember I was saying how I think I told in one of my videos how I had read this conspiracy book back in like 2014, 15, right around in here. And my bestie, she wasn't my bestie at the time. But she was just my friend from work. I met her at work. We worked in the domestic violence shelter together. And so she left that book and I read it. And I don't know if she left that book. I don't know if she left that book on purpose. Like I said, I didn't know what was going on for a long, long, long period of time. Which is why I had such a hard time adjusting to all the way things are, because I didn't know about this stuff growing up, you know. But I don't know if she left that book on purpose. I feel like she left it on mistake, but I read it because I worked the night shift. Me and her worked the night shift, and it wasn't nothing better else to do. So I have read the whole book. When I'm interested in something, I'll read it. I'll sit and read the whole book from cover to cover. You know, I'm on an 8-hour shift, and it wasn't nothing else to do. Everybody's asleep. I'm working in a shelter, and my job is to sign people in and out, and everybody's asleep. Ain't nobody going out. I mean, some people lagging in, but after maybe like 3 o'clock in the morning, everybody done lagged in. So for the rest of the shift, it's nothing to do. But shout out to all my dads. And she, one time, the only thing she did that was very suspicious to me. So I had just moved into a new apartment. And got an apartment in New York, very expensive. Wasn't the best apartment in the world. But I didn't expect it to be. I knew I had to move out of my mom's house. I was getting too old. It was getting too crowded at my mom's house. And we was just starting to have unnecessary issues because I was just too old living there. So I got up and I moved out. I actually won that lottery. I think I said something about that lottery before. But then right before I was about to get ready to get the apartment that I won the lottery for, and I got the paper saying that I won the lottery, they reneged. So anyway, I was really determined on getting myself a regular apartment at this point in time. Even though that would have been in a new building, brand spanking new building, I went on ahead and got me a regular Bronx apartment. Got a regular Bronx apartment. I did not like it that much. Wasn't that proud of it. At the end of the day, I had my own apartment in New York that I didn't win in the lottery, that I didn't go into the shelter for, but I wasn't on Section 8 for, that I wasn't getting no public assistance for. I wasn't even getting food stamps, and I was paying my own rent out of pocket. And I was paying $1,250 a month for myself. You know, okay? It was a 1-bedroom, but it was somewhere for me and my daughter to start, because that was what it was supposed to be, a start. And I think that was just enough for me to be proud of. But, you know, at the end of the day, I was young-minded at that time. And, you know, I wasn't thinking straight. I was still very much so plugged into the matrix. So anyway, I didn't want to invite nobody over, because everybody at my job knew that I had won the lottery for that apartment. And everybody at that job knew that I all of a sudden didn't get the apartment no more, because that's what I get for running my big old trap. Anyway, I was kind of embarrassed at the apartment that I did have. She wanted to follow me she wanted to go to my apartment, but I was telling her, like, yeah, let me get moved in, you know what I mean? And I'll just go ahead and throw a whole housewarming party. Let me get my furniture and everything moved in there, da-da-da. Because I trusted her. She was my friend. She was, you know, out of my work friends. Me and her was starting to become best friends or whatever. But I was like, just don't bring nobody else from work with you to my apartment. You know what I mean? Like, don't. Just, you come or whatever. But not yet. I'll tell you when it's time to come. She was going back to school to get her, I want to say, bachelor's degree. She was already getting her bachelor's degree. Everybody there pretty much had an associate. Not everybody is. Some of us had an associate. Some of us had a high school diploma. And, because you can get that job with a high school diploma. Most of us had an associate already. I was getting my bachelor's degree. I was getting my diploma. She was actually going to a college that was actually the next stop on a train after mine. She was on Bedford. I think that school was on Bedford Parkway in the Bronx. Shout out Bedford Parkway. If you know, you know. Anyway, Lehman College. She was in Lehman College or whatever. Good school, pretty good school, especially for the Bronx. But anyway, it's the CUNY, City University, New York. She was in there. So me and her took the train every day home together. She lived on the 5 train line. I lived on the 4 train line. So we used to take the train all the way up together, because I stayed on the 5 train line too. But I moved out on my own, so now I'm on the 4 train line. So what we used to do every day is from 125th. I ride with her from 125th to 149th. Get off on 149th, get the 4 train, go home. You know, and that's what we did every day. But mind you, I have my ways of doing things. So get off on 149th Street, get the 4, go upstairs, get the 4 train. Then I go all the way to the back of the train. Like, I'm in the last car all the time. So, because the last car usually, for several different reasons, the last car usually is emptiest. Usually nobody really back there. I probably more likely to get a seat back there. And when I get off the train, I can see everybody in front of me. When I'm in the middle cars, it's too much going on. Too much room for error, too much room for somebody to beef me and steal from me, because it's too many things going on. I can't see everybody in front of me. You know? So even when I was younger, it was always methods. It was always a method to the madness. You know what I mean? Anyway. So I go get on the 4 train. I don't see nobody. Got my music playing in my ears, got my phone or whatever. Got my music playing, my own business. So I get off the 4 train on my stop, Kingsbridge. Get off the 4 train on Kingsbridge stop. Like I told you, I'm in the back of the car, so I can see everybody that gets off the train in front of me. That's why I see getting off the train in front of me. Therese. So I'm like, darn. I see her. I'm like, Therese. She don't hear me or see me. Like, I'm like, Therese. Calling her name, like, Therese. So anyway, she like, huh? Now I'm right up on her. She got no choice but to respond to me. She's like, oh, girl, what's going on? You know, because Therese is always goofy. She's silly, always silly. Me and her laughed all day long. So we was like complete opposites. She was just kind of very like, I don't know what you want to call it, preppy. She was kind of preppy, and I was kind of rough around the edges. But we got along. We had so much in common, even though we didn't have a lot in common. We had the most important things in common. So we laughed all day. Me and her. That was my buddy. If I wanted to have a good laugh, I knew she was gonna make me laugh, and vice versa. So, and we was always going out together because she liked being out and about, and I like being out and about when I wanted to be out and about. But she was always out and about. I mean, like, I don't think this girl took a day off. She was always going somewhere doing something. And then she started asking, like, why you ain't go here? I'm like, girl, I got to have a break. Like, I can't just be, you know what I mean? I work. I have a child. Like, I got to go sleep sometimes. Like, when do you sleep? Like, I was trying to ask her that. But anyway. So, anyway, she's at my stop trying to hide. And I'm like, she's trying to be slick. So then I ended up thinking weird about that. I'm like, darn, you fiending to see my apartment that bad that you following me to my stop? Because I know that her school is a stop after mine. So I'm like, okay. She tells me she had to go to her school today. So I'm like, okay, but my thing is, why you ain't tell me that? We could have just got the 4 train together and it ain't have to be no secret. Like, we could have just got on the train together and it wouldn't have to be been secretive. Like, why you sneak over here? Like, basically. She really had no excuse. I left it at that. Me and her went to the Rite Aid together. I got the circular like I do every morning. I used to go in the Rite Aid and get the circular so I could see what's on sale. Because I used to buy a lot of my food from the Rite Aid, which is weird. But they had a lot of good sales and a lot of good food. And that was back when I didn't mind eating a lot of processed foods and foods that came in a box and stuff like that. So, yeah, I used to shop a lot at Rite Aid, which is the drugstore for, anyway. So, anyhow, I went in the house, But that was weird. Now when I thought back to it after I found out I was being gang stalked, I always thought, like, was she gang stalking me? But anyway, right before I got ready to move down here, after I had found out I was being gang stalked, she got pregnant randomly. I had already moved down here, came down here, literally ran from Connecticut because I didn't know what was going on. I was pegged, I ain't gonna hold you. Got up, came down here so I could be around family. Then now that I realize this is gonna happen anywhere that I go, I wish I would have stayed in Connecticut. I should have stayed in Connecticut. Connecticut is a good, decent place. I mean, if you don't like being bored and cold and rainy, but I'm an introvert anyway, so I don't care. But Connecticut is pretty solid. Definitely should have stayed in Connecticut, but came down here, me and her were still talking on the phone. We were still peoples or whatever. Like, one time I needed money, she sent me money. But we do that for each other. Like, we was just really good friends. Like, like, that was my best friend. That's the last best friend I've had in my life, She got pregnant. So I went to New York. I was in between work. I ain't have no job. I had just came down here in October. Things weren't going the way I wanted them to go. I had applied for an apartment, but I didn't know if I was going to get it or not. And I used to always go back and forth to New York from down here anyway. I was staying with my mom. I just came up in the middle of January. I was like, whatever, ain't nothing else going on. Came up in the middle of January. Went up in the middle of January, seeing her. And I was just like, something ain't right, you know what I mean? Then I found out she was pregnant, and we found out she was pregnant. And she had another best friend get around to her. I'm not going to say her name. Let's call her Joanna. So she had another best friend, Joanna, black girl. Like, I didn't really like her like that. Like, she just was like always trying to be somebody's mama. It was like, girl, we grown. And I couldn't stand friends like that. Like, it's okay to kind of give people advice and stuff like that, but you can't live people's life for them. You got to let people go and live their life and make their mistakes and things like that. Like, if somebody want to do something crazy, I mean, at the end of the day, you grown. I'm not out here trying to stop nobody from doing nothing. You know what I mean? I'm going to tell you how I feel about the situation, and then I'm going to let you go do your thing because I want you to do the same thing for me because at the end of the day, you're not my mama, So, but she was just very on top of Therese about everything and then always minding her business. She was a hater. Let's just put it like that. She was a hater. She tried to make it like it was coming from a good place, but it wasn't. she was just trying to like very much control everything that girl was doing and just always in her business and just very judgmental towards her. And Teresa had stuff together. Like Teresa actually went to college. She got her bachelor's. Like when I told you she went to Lehman College, she became a social worker. She started becoming a social worker. So when she got pregnant, I was just like, yeah, man, like you're grown. Like at the end of the day, you're not 15 and pregnant. You know what I mean? You're not 16, 17 and pregnant. And you out here scared like you a little girl and pregnant. Like you 29, 28, 27 years old. And 28 years old, 27 years old and pregnant. Like it's what it is. I don't know who she got pregnant by. I didn't know that dude. She had her own friends. Like I told you, I knew her from work. So we didn't grow up together, nothing like that. She had her own circle of friends. And I had my own circle of friends. She got pregnant down with one of her friends' brother that she had knew that lived in Virginia and whatever. Long story short, they wasn't even dating. So anyway, but I was just like, yeah, girl, just like don't pay attention to that. Like your friends, their family members, you too grown, you got a job, you're working, da da da. But she was living with her grandmother. And her grandmother had a house full of people, just like New York. We be in there stacked on top of each other. That's why I told you I had to move out on my own because it'd be too many people to one house. And she was trying to move out. I had already had an apartment. I had went ahead and lived my lease out, and I moved down here after I lived my lease out. I had lived in Connecticut, all that good stuff. So I already had 2 apartments up there by this time. I told you, people, God been blessing me. God's been blessing me. He's been blessing me. Like I told you, I ain't really ever really had no really messed up life. The problems that I had really was problems that I made for myself anyway. To be honest. So anyway, long story short, I kept telling her like, you know what? Things not clicking the way I want to be clicking down here. I'm gonna move back up here with you. I know how to get us in the apartment. I know how to go to the realtor. I know how to do all that stuff. And mind you, I knew I was targeted at the time, but I don't care about that. I was just like, we gonna make it. You got a job. You the one with the good credit. I don't have a job, but I'm gonna get a job, and I already know how to get a job. I already know how to work. I knew how to work the New York system, which is why I always go back there when I fall on my face because I'm from there, so I know how to work the New York system. I know how to work things there. So anyway, I got you. Don't worry. She was, I don't know what to do. Just very dramatic, the drama queen. I'm just kind of like, because I was always the mother of my friends. My friends always, Tifa, what I'm going to do? Tifa is the whole time, I'm the one being targeted. I need somebody to tell me what I need to do. Nobody cares. Like, no, I'm just kidding. But everybody always came to me for things when they had whatever problems, because I was always kind of like the mama, sister. I kind of felt like, no, I'm going to leave that alone. I'm going to leave that out. I got to say everything, whatever. So anyways, long story short, I told him, like, look, we're going to come up there. I'm going to get a 3-bedroom. You and the baby going to sleep together. I'm going to sleep in my room. We're going to have a room for my daughter. And we're going to pay the rent. We're going to split the rent right down the middle. And da-da-da-da-da. You know what I mean? And I'm like, be good. I got this. I'm going to figure it out. The whole time while I was up there on vacation, finding out she was pregnant, I had got qualified for my apartment down here. Did they do that on purpose? Who knows? They felt that I was about to get ready to leave and go to New York and, make everything work with her. Being targeted in New York when I first found out, was crazy, but it was very spiritual. Like, in New York, it was kind of like people was looking at me like it was a very spiritual thing. Not like it was, oh, I hate your guts kind of thing, but oh my gosh, look at the spirit. Like, that serious. Like, that's why I like New Yorkers. Like, New Yorkers are honest. But then it's kind of like funny because I'm still smoking cigarettes. So it's kind of like an oxymoron. It's like, this girl, she's like basically got the glory of God all over her, but she's walking down the block smoking a cigarette. I don't know. Leave me alone. I'm out here trying to survive. So whatever. Very supernatural stuff going on. And they made it very known. New Yorkers are very, I don't want to go into all that. So like I was saying, but I'm still about to figure this out. And I meant what I said too. Even if I got the apartment and I got a job right after I got that apartment at bum ass Motel 6. No shout out to them with they bum ass. But anyway, so I'm working, but I'm gonna keep my word. Like, that's one thing about me. That's probably the reason why I'm targeted. I knew she was worried. I knew she was a drama queen. I knew she was just like very dramatic, and just, I know she felt like her world was coming apart. So I was just kind of like, I'm gonna go be there for my friend, because I don't really have anything going on down here except for like work and, you know, apartment, like whatever. So and then on top of that, I don't really like the South. Like I just don't. I don't. So even though I had things going on, I still was about to get ready to leave. I ain't care. So, and I already told her what I was gonna do. And I meant that, I was going to put her on her feet at least before I decided to go do anything else. So I was trying to, because she had a job, she had the income, she had the credit. She just needed probably another income, and she probably needed somebody to just help her do it, That's why I was trying to tell her, like, things can be really scary when you've never done them before. And I told her, I already done it before. I already know how to do it. So it's you making it like a big deal. It's not as big a deal as you think it is. Anyway, so long story short, fast forward, me and her still talking on the phone. We still staying in touch. We still talking through Instagram. I still have our Instagram chats. I still have everything that we ever talked about on Instagram and all this and all that. I end up losing my job. She sent me money. I send it back to her. We help each other out like that. We were best friends. We really were. Like, that was my best friend. And regardless of if she was a perp or not a perp, she didn't. That's the only perp thing that she did was follow me home from my job. Outside of that, like, she didn't move like no perp. That was my bestie, And I feel like, I don't know. So long story short, we get to November. It's the day after Thanksgiving, I think, or a little bit before, and she dies. So I go on Facebook and I see everybody saying "Rest in peace to Therese, rest in peace to Therese," and I'm like, why? Like, what's going on? I'm confused or whatever. Like, I'm confused. And she dies. Like, she said, like, and I'm going on Facebook, and then I'm like trying to figure out who to call, because I know she had a sister, and I never really liked her sister, because sister used to just kind of bully her. She was the older sister, because Therese was so sweet, so nice, such a kind person. Like, she was really, really kind, very, very sweet, like, very, very sweet, good girl, And her sister had a baby already, a son. She was the younger sister, but she had a little son already. That little son was bad as Lord get out. And the sister had a car. The sister was driving, but she used to have Therese drop her son off at daycare every morning. She had Therese watching him. Therese got to work, be pregnant, watch the nephew, go clean up the grandmother's house, go get the grandmother's lottery tickets. Make sure everybody in the house was good. And like, she just was really just, and then on top of that, every time somebody asked her if she want to go somewhere, she's like, okay, I'll go. And I saw her like, turn stuff down. Like, let something get past you. Like, you ain't got to go out with all these people. Oh, my friend came in from Canada, like, and her, like, you know what I mean? Well, who cares? Let her go out with somebody else she know up here. Like, you doing too much. So anyway, long story short, Therese had a heart attack at like 28 years old. And that's crazy. And when she first died, like, I ain't gonna hold you, I was pegged, like, oh, so we're killing people now. No, I'm just kidding. I'm like, because I'm like, my friend did not have a heart attack. So then it's supposed to be, the story is the way I heard it from her other friend, the one I did not like, Joanna, was Therese in the house with her baby father. Her baby father had came up to see the baby. She had already had the baby. Baby was born like August. She died in like November. Baby had to be like 3 months or whatever. She arguing with him. He want to take a baby down south because too many heads in her grandmother's house. Too many people in her grandmother's house. It's not fit for a child. He want to take a baby to Virginia. She's arguing with him. You're not taking my baby nowhere. Take me to court. Da da da. You tripping if you think you're taking my son. You're taking my son from me. Mind you, she never even really dated this dude. Like, never. Even when she was pregnant, she never dated this dude. So she's practically arguing with a stranger about her child. So, and then she just falls out. She just faints. She just faints, fall out, and dies. Her heart just explodes in her chest, and she dies right there on the floor. And yeah, man, she died. And I'm like, did anybody give her CPR? Did he give her CPR? Did she give him CPR? I mean, did the sister give her CPR? What was the sister doing while the boy was sitting there arguing at her? Because I mean, I don't know how y'all live. Like y'all, like my sister not gonna sit here and let nobody stress me out like that. You go, especially somebody that she know I ain't even date like that. You gonna get out of here. You know what I mean? Like you gotta go, y'all have this argument somewhere else, but y'all not gonna sit here and have this argument right here. Like bye. So no, sister didn't give her CPR. The boyfriend, I mean not the boyfriend, but the baby father didn't give her CPR. She just died right there on the floor. And that was the end of that. I didn't have no money to get to New York. They told me so last minute. She had a funeral. I didn't even see my friend buried. I didn't see my friend's funeral, nothing. All I did was hear she died and found out she died, and that's it. I haven't got any closure, not like that. So she passed away, and yeah, people around me, like I don't know how anybody else is being targeted, but people around me are dying. Now, I'm not dying. I am not dead yet, but people around me surely are dying. Anyway, that was what happened with Therese. I don't know if I feel like I should part 2 this because it's about to be going on 30 minutes. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and finish this part. So, long story short, Therese dies. I've dealt with it, I've mourned her. It was hard for me to really mourn her because I didn't get any closure. This was like 2019. Therese been dead for a little while now. So 2021, 22, 23, 24. In about a good 5 years, my friend been dead. I don't think we got out of 2019 before she died. She died right before COVID, right around in there. So anyway, she had another friend, Joanna, right? So I don't have anybody else to talk to. I don't know her sister like that. I met her once or twice. Me and her got along, but that's just because I tried to get along for the sake of getting along. But I don't really the sister like that because I didn't like how the sister was like treating her and like making her do all these different things she could have did for herself, And then not even driving her to the daycare. You got a whole car, and Therese still got to walk everywhere and take a train everywhere where you got to ride. But then she's doing all these things for you, but you can't even give her a ride to the places you want her to go for you. So I don't know if she had too much on her heart and she was just dealing with too much and she just died. Or you know what else I'm talking about. Like, I don't got to say too much. I don't know which one it was. But anyway, it seemed like everybody died from a heart attack or whatever. Long story short, our friend Joanna had breast cancer. We all knew Joanna had breast cancer. Joanna was really pretty kind of flat-chested, but she had breast cancer. And like I said, Therese and her was always going out. They was always going out. They stayed going out somewhere. Like, I don't know. I used to go out a lot too, but there's a lot of times I didn't go nowhere. I ain't go out, so. Especially when I moved to Connecticut, because it was like New York was so far. New York wasn't so far, but it was far enough for me to want to stay at home and not go out. So I said a lot of those things out. But anyway, she had breast cancer, but her breast cancer was in remission. She had fought it. She had won the battle with breast cancer. So whatever, good for her. Blessings. Pray for her. Even though she wasn't my cup of tea, don't want to see nobody with no breast cancer or sick or whatever. So right around January, she was my only connection to Therese after Therese died. So I tried to stay friendly with her, even though she kind of got on my last nerve. Right around January, right before COVID happened. No, COVID did happen. Right around that time, I was supposed to be going back to New York because, again, I was unemployed, and I just kind of was like, I'm going to keep my apartment down here. I'm going to go to New York. I'm going to get a job. I'm going to stay in New York, send the checks down here. I don't know what I was thinking about. Just be doing crazy stuff, especially when I don't know, when I be down to rock bottom, I just start feeling like Indiana Jones. Like, I just start doing stuff. Anyway, so go up there. I didn't go up there. Me and her ended up getting into an argument, like really bad argument. She called me immature and childish. I called her tacky ass. And that was that. We fell out right before I was able to come up there. I feel like she didn't want me to come up there. But I was only going to stay with her for a little while anyway. I wasn't going to stay with her permanently. I was just trying to stay with her for like literally like a week or two. It wasn't going to be no long-term thing. Like I told you, I didn't like her. But anyway, stopped talking to her. Blocked her on Facebook and everything. So probably like a year go by. A year or two go by. I start back then. I'm on the bus down here. I start back thinking about Therese and then her son. I'm like, where's Xavion? That's the baby's name. I'm like, where's Xavion? I wonder where Xavion is. Like, I wonder how he's doing, because I'm going through what I'm going through with my children and my sons. And I start thinking about her and her son. And I'm like, I wish there was some kind of way, because I would always pray for him. And I started thinking wishes for myself. I wish there was some kind of way I could like reach out to him just to make sure he's okay and try to keep a relationship with him, because he's like the closest thing I'm gonna get to my best friend, her son. So I unblocked Joanna on Facebook. So I'm like, Joanna would know. She's the only person that know. I'm about to swallow my pride and hit Joanna up and just see if she'll let me know anything about Xavion. Because she the only person that still stays in contact with Therese and Therese's family. I mean, not Therese, but Therese's family. So, unblocks her on Facebook. Go on her page. Everybody saying rest in peace. I'm like, who's she saying rest in peace to? Who else died? What's going on? Everybody saying rest in peace to her. I'm like, no, ain't no way. There is no way. I keep cutting myself. I didn't even know I cut myself again. I'm like, ain't no way. Ain't no way. Like little slices on my finger. That's crazy. So I'm like, ain't no way this girl is dead. No. Ain't no way this girl is dead. So Joanna is dead now. So not only is Therese dead, but Joanna was Therese's best friend, but Joanna is dead too now. But then again, Joanna had breast cancer. So both of my friends are dead. The last real friends that I had before I started getting into this targeted individual stuff real deep are dead. Dead. Like no longer with us. Gone. Out the way. So, I don't know. But I had a friend that my little childhood sweetheart, he died. He died of guess what? Guess what he died from? Say it with me, people. No, he didn't kill himself. He had a heart attack. At 32 years old, he had a heart attack. He was playing basketball. And he went home, got in the bed. I guess he took a shower or whatever he did and laid down. And when he went to sleep, he didn't wake up. And it took for his daughter to come in the room and feel that he was really cold to the touch. And she realized that he was dead. And they said that he had a heart attack. I had another friend that I don't want to talk too much about him. Really, really good friend of mine. Was a friend of my brother's growing up. And then, how you friend with your siblings' friends. He committed suicide. Killed himself. But he didn't shoot himself in the head, where most people shoot themselves when they want to get rid of themselves. Because I think everybody know that, You want to make sure you're gone real fast. You do that headshot. But he shot himself in the heart. And they actually talked about how he had like a long, painful death. And I'm like, how do you know? Were you there? Like, how do you know how long and painful his death was? Like, I don't know. But anyway. He shot himself in the heart. So shout out to those people that are kind of like I was saying before, I want to put this out here because I feel like, and I'm not going to put it out right now, but eventually I will. But I want to put this out here to tell people that you're not the only one going through this. Because like I was saying about people that's targeted in underwear and don't know they're being targeted and probably don't understand what's going on and probably understand what's going on but can't really face it. You're not the only one going through this. And I'm here for you if you are going through this. And, don't know what to do or what to say, or you're scared. And I understand it can be freaking scary. But you're not by yourself. And you can hit me up. I mean, this is not easy, but you don't have to do nothing like that. And I know it can kind of leave you feeling like your options are slim, and you probably embarrassed. I don't understand why people would be embarrassed that somebody's harassing them. This is harassing you. And I understand you probably embarrassed or whatever, but you're not the only one. And it's crazy because there's so many fake target individuals who are walking around. That dude, what's his name on here? His name is on here somewhere. Hot Spitter, whatever his name is, Hot Spitter, something like that. I'm gonna get his actual name because he was supposed to take me downtown to my court date. I gave him $20 in advance, and I ain't seen him since. I already knew he was a fake target individual, but I had needed a ride, and I had just got out of jail, and I ain't seen him since. He's from down here in Columbus. He's the fake target individual. So, but I feel like those people were targeted. I feel like my friend was being targeted. I don't know. I don't know about Joanna. I feel like she might have been being targeted, but I feel like all those people were being targeted. I really do. And like I said, if you are being targeted, if you find yourself in these situations, I know y'all probably know that I'm being targeted too. Don't be afraid to reach out to me and reach out or whatever. Anyway, what else is going on? I wanted to put that out there. But it's crazy. And it just makes me feel like every time I turn around, somebody is dying. But it ain't ever no targeted individuals. Like, every time I turn around, somebody is dying around me, but it ain't never really no targeted individuals. Like, I don't come on here and see TIs dying. I see, like, people around me dying who probably were targeted and wasn't really aware. But whatever, that's who I see dying. I don't really see no targeted individuals dying. All the targeted individuals that I thought were dead and I went to go check on are still alive. What was her name? Chantel, I forgot her last name. I thought she was dead. I went to go check on her thing or whatever, her page, but she's alive. Yeah, it's usually just annually, my friends are dying. So, I know people probably like, why? Shut up. No, I'm just kidding. But no, I just kind of wanted them to not be dead in vain and not have people just move on with their life after, even if they, because say they weren't a targeted individual, say they was regular perps. But what I was saying was earlier in my video was these people don't mind collateral damage when it comes to this. They will pick you off, let you pick yourself off. They don't care. You understand what I'm saying? That's the thing about being a Satanist. The devil don't show no love. So when it's come down to people trying to be in relationships with these people, and you're trying to be, y'all talking about, why relationships don't work nowadays? Because y'all all Satanists. The devil don't show no love. How you going to be in a relationship with somebody who serves the devil? Satan don't show no love. Satan don't even mess with you. You mess with Satan, but Satan don't mess with you. That's kind of how devil worship works. You know what I mean? Evil is for real. Like, evil ain't no fake evil. It ain't no half evil. Like, evil is evil. You know what I mean? So these people will let you kill yourself. They will let you have a heart attack. They will put you up. They will sacrifice you just to make me feel bad about myself. You know what I mean? These people, you're not safe. You know, you're not safe. They try to make it seem like you're on the outs and they're on the ends. Like, that's what on the ends look like. I don't want to be on the ends, boo. I know where I stand. I don't want to be too close to the enemy. I know where I stand. I can see the enemy coming because he's far away from me. You can't see the enemy coming because you're right up under him. I'm not trying to have nobody that I'm supposed to have called a friend or a family member or anything like that pick me off. Like, I'm not interested in that. To me, that's kind of embarrassing. To have your boyfriend or whatever, somebody that you called your loved one, and just kill you like that, or be the reason as to why you dead or whatever. Like, and then it's just move on with their life. Everybody just go on and you out of here, So, I don't know. Just want to put that out there and show them some type of respect because these people don't have none.